this magnificent building. Two MLS teams have already seen the door. New York Red Bulls, after a bit of a scare for Santos in the opening 10 minutes, fall after 4 goals were scored by Santos in a matter of 15 minutes. Tigres cruise into the semis as Tigres and Santos will face off in the semifinals on the left side of the bracket. If you turn your attention to the right side, Atlanta United and Monterrey to fight for one of those 2 semifinal spots remaining. Sporting Kansas City down 2-1 to Caja Independiente of Panama. It's Atlanta United of the United States in Major League Soccer playing host to Monterrey of Mexico and Liga MX for a spot in the semifinals. Monterrey moving down the receiving lines as Rayados, the striped ones, going up against the 5 stripes. And this Atlanta United side, just 1 win in their first 5 matches of the 2019 calendar year. Of course, only having started to play together under Frank de Boer in this new formation just about a month and a half ago. As we'll take a look at the starting 11 for Atlanta United. The delivery and the overall play of Breck Shea has been in question over the past week, so Mikey Ambrose is going to get the start. Also entered Jeff Lorenowitz after Gonzalez Perez is suspended due to yellow card accumulation. Other than that, it stays the same for Atlanta United. Julian Gress will be running out on the right flank. Joseph Martinez, Pity Martinez, as well as Ezequiel Barco are going to be trying to get things started in hastily fashion up top, as Henry Bejarano from Costa Rica is our head referee for this evening's match, as Nicolas Sanchez and Michael Parkhurst meet at midfield. Nicolas Sanchez has been an absolute tear from the center back position in the goal scoring department. He has 11 goals on the season so far. He is their main penalty kick taker, and he has converted on 2 out of 3 that he has attempted in this tournament so far. Of course, the 2 penalties that he had in the Alianza second leg in the round of 16. And here's the starting 11 for Diego Alonso, the 43-year-old Montevideo, Uruguay native. And for Monterrey, just one change, and it's going to be Johan Vasquez is going to enter, the 20-year-old, getting a peculiar start and his first appearance in this competition. The youngster is going to fill in most likely at the outside back position. We will see what Diego Alonso has in store for Frank de Boer in this Atlanta United side. And we'll briefly take a look at the substitutes available for both coaches. Florentin Pogba finally has his paperwork in order. He's available off of the bench. Breck Shea, Kevin Kratz, as well as Gordon Wild and Tito Villalba, most likely going to come off the bench in attacking fashion for the Five Stripes, who are looking for a monumental comeback. And in these two-legged formats, we have seen some wild things over the past, whether it be in Concacaf Champions League, UEFA Champions League. That's what makes these tournaments so special. It's not always first impressions that can decide your fate, but if you're going to stumble like Atlanta did in the first leg, it's going to take something incredibly, incredibly special in the second, as we're officially underway from Mercedes-Benz Stadium for the first ever time in International Cup play. Again, I'm Tyler Terrence. Thank you so much for joining us. Atlanta United in their red and black, Monterrey in their navy blue and white. As an early ball sent ahead, problems here for Atlanta United, but Brad Guzan comes off of his line to clean it up and serenaded by the Goose. Gonzalo Martinez. Good ball forward. Julian Gressel will claim it. In for Joseph Martinez. Around one defender. Back out for Gressel. Trying to bend it in. It'll fall for Pitti, and his shot is scuffed. And a goal kick coming, but already a good tempo in this one in the opening 75 seconds. Ball in from Gressel was terrific for Joseph Martinez, who's got 3 goals in all competitions so far, including the opener against FC Cincinnati over the weekend. 75 minutes later, it'd be the equalizer from Le Mans. FC Cincinnati come away with their first point in Major League Soccer play after coming up from the USL Championship as an expansion side. And a lot of people, due to the Gonzalez Perez suspension, thought that Atlanta United might move to a 4-back, but they throw in Jeff Lorenowitz. And still able to maintain that 3-back system, albeit a much different one from Tata Martino in the eyes of Frank de Boer. As Barco skipping away from some pressure. Atlanta United fans at the edge of their seats waiting for that opening goal that could spark the comeback. Whipped in, handled beautifully by Sanchez. He is an absolute beast at the back for Monterrey. Talk about a side that's in form. Rayados, 23 goals for, 9 against. Here they go on the counter. 1v1 with Miles Robinson, cutting it back. Funes Mori, diverted by the 21-year-old. And Mori taken down by Mikey Ambrose, and it should be a free kick, basically on top of the corner flag. So a makeshift corner now for Rayados. As Funes Mori has been in outstanding form himself, 13 goals on the season. He had the go-ahead goal in the Clásico Regio against Tigres, a terrific back heel. It was set up with the help of Miguel Layún. Here comes the set piece for Monterrey. Clip towards the back post, and Eric Rometti able to get a touch to it. Funes Mori, the 28-year-old from Godoy Cruz, Argentina. His twin brother, Ramiro, over at Villarreal in La Liga. Both of them spending a year with the FC Dallas Academy and eventually moving on to the River Plate youth system, as Ezequiel Barco able to clear the Atlanta United lines. Just loop back in. take it on the first time, and Brad Guzan can handle that comfortably. A goal for Monterrey. And you could almost put the house on the fact that this one would be out of reach for Atlanta United. Crazier things have happened, but especially with the away goal, and Atlanta United would then need a full-blown win just to advance. The winner to take on the winner of Sporting Kansas City and Calle Independiente. Those two will play tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Sparavero able to clear it away. Monterrey trying to establish a rhythm. Play under pressure beautifully. At the feet of Hurtado. Pushed along by Jonathan Gonzalez. Big switch over to the near side. Jesus Gallardo. And he is stood up by Julian Gressel. Not many seated fans here at Mercedes-Benz. Lorenowitz. Teams exchanging turnovers. Space the other way for Monterrey. Knocked towards the top of the box, and Michael Parkhurst read it beautifully. And it should be a handball on Pity Martinez, and it will be. Well, it certainly has been a controversial week for Atlanta United. Whether it be results, comments from managers, you put it all together, and it has been extremely frustrating for a franchise that saw an MLS championship in just their second year. At the feet of Darlington Nagbe. Former Portland Timberman on the move. Nagbe pushes it for Gressel. And Gressel's delivery denied by Jesus Gallardo. That's one of the biggest talking points for Atlanta United is Gressel is about as sure thing as you can get to a right wing back in Major League Soccer and in CONCACAF in general. He's been outstanding since coming to Atlanta. But it's the left side that seems to be a question mark. Whether it be Breckshire or Mikey Ambrose, that spot seemingly up for grabs as Ambrose gets the start tonight. Breckshire, relatively disappointing performance against FC Cincinnati as Diego Alonso looks on. Monterrey, one of the most successful teams in this tournament in recent memory. Three-time Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League champions. Back-to-back from 2010 to 2013, beating Santos twice, as well as Real Salt Lake. Skips all the way through. Miles Robinson can handle it. He's certainly been a bright spot along that Atlanta United back line. Had all the praise in the world from Miguel Almiron before he departed for the small fee of $27 million to Newcastle United. And it's going to be a foul on Rometti, who is ready to go the other way. And a wry smile from the 23-year-old out of Argentina. Wasn't too much in it. Quite honestly, it should have been a handball. Gallardo. Poor touch in the middle of the field. However, it's cleaned up. Hurtado. Given away by Monterrey in a dangerous area. Barco. Great footwork, sliding it through. Joseph Martinez. And the diving save from Marcelo Barovero. And while it's not in the back of the net, Atlanta United fans knowing that there are probably going to be goals in this one for their club. But check out this ball from Barco. Outstanding. You can see what Josef Martinez is doing. He's trying to use the pace of the ball to his advantage and not fully swing his foot through it, because it probably would have gone over. But Barovero getting down to his right and making a fingertip save. And Atlanta United really starting to feel themselves now. Pity Martinez. And look at that sliding challenge from Nico Sanchez. A massive collision with Julian Gressel. It looks to be an apparent head injury, and that means our referee should stop the game, and he will. Fair play to Henry Bejarano. And Julian Gressel took a shot from Nicolas Sanchez. Not necessarily sure if it should have been a foul. Certainly an awkward play from Monterrey's captain Sanchez, as Gressel will have to be knocked a few more times like that before he needs serious medical attention, or even furthermore unable to continue, as Barovero reads the hop here at Mercedes-Benz. Remedi loses that individual battle, trying to atone for his sins, but ends up compounding the problem and committing a foul. And a set piece coming up for Monterrey. There's Rodolfo Pizarro, who's getting the start tonight. Slow to get to his feet, 25-year-old from Mexico. In his first season with Monterrey, after coming over from Chivas, who of course won this tournament in 2018. Had 6 starts and 8 appearances, including a goal for Chivas in that championship run. And Pizarro, wearing number 20 for Monterrey, has received some inquiries from across the pond in Europe. Pizarro, good first touch. Here he is again, trying to bend it with the outside of the foot for Funes Mori, but it would have taken a really special delivery to be able to find his striking partner. A little more than 10 minutes gone by here at Mercedes-Benz. Still 0-0 in the second leg, 3-0 to Monterrey on the aggregate. As it stands, they will be our 3rd semifinalist in the 2019 Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League. Michael Parker is getting forward. Pity Martinez finding Josef Martinez. Out wide with Ambrose, stands one up in the back post. Gressel up for the header. Won by Monterrey, and that means a corner for Atlanta United, their first of the evening. And Julian Gressel wants the energy level raised just a bit. Well, it's patient from Josef Martinez. Seeing the space with Mikey Ambrose and trying to find the German at the back post. Monterrey handle the corner and could be looking to counter. There's a decent idea. Ezequiel Barco puts in the challenge, and it's a foul on Barco. Good sportsmanship from the 20-year-old. And when you show the bottom of your boots like that, almost always going to get the referee's attention. Free kick sent in, gets all the way through, and Guzan hangs onto it and was looking to quickly distribute the other way. This time the foul will be in favor of Atlanta United. Number of players for both teams on yellow card accumulation warning. On the Atlanta United side, George Bello, Pity Martinez, Eric Rometti, and Michael Parkhurst. For Monterrey, Adam Barrero, Nicolas Sanchez, Jesus Gallardo, and Maximiliano Mesa. One yellow card to any of those players, and they will miss the next leg should their side advance. Here's Lorenowitz. Rometti, a bit of a cumbersome first touch. Unable to clean up the second. Now room for Monterrey going the other way. And Gallardo is offside. You can see that developing. And Funes Mori is very frustrated with the outside back, because had he just held his run for about half a second, Monterrey could have had a very good look at goal and putting this one away before the half-hour mark. This was an extremely physical and controversial first leg in Monterrey at Bancomer last week. Pity Martinez was the main man in the worst way possible, fouled 10 times throughout the course of the game. Carlos Rodriguez committing double-digit fouls himself on the Monterrey side, but yet did not receive any sort of caution or card from our head referee. Actually has no cards the entire season, number 29 for Monterrey. It's a battle of the stripes here at Mercedes-Benz. Rayados, otherwise known as the striped ones, and the five stripes of Atlanta United. Gamesmanship starting to come into play with a 3-0 lead on aggregate for Monterrey. It's off the heel of Barco, didn't know much about it. Joseph Martinez trying to put in the challenge. And the second challenge is a late one and from behind, and it warrants yet another free kick, as Henry Bejarano has had a rather firm grip on this game. Well, it doesn't matter what side you're cheering for. That sort of cohesion and decibel level has to at least give you some sort of chills. Parkhurst has to go back for Guzan. Monterrey squeezing Atlanta United. Challenge put in from Rometti. Joseph Martinez, quick out from his feet. Barco gets past his first assignment, slides it through and way too much on it for Gonzalo Martinez. But you have to at least appreciate the effort from Barco, who glided past his man like he wasn't even there. And it was the right idea, but Martinez had to curtail his run Otherwise, he would have been offside. PT bringing it down. Needs some help from Ambrose. Miles Robinson challenging Funes Mori. Guzan with a cool head from the goalkeeping position, finding Rometti. It was about a 4 to 5 minute spell where you thought Atlanta United might find the breakthrough. Culminated with that Joseph Martinez chance that was denied by Marcelo Barovero. 35-year-old wily veteran from Argentina in between the sticks for Diego Alonso and Monterrey tonight. There's Gressel, heavy second touch. Joseph Martinez was trying to help in cleaning it up. Rodolfo Pizarro sending it through. Hurtado too close to Miles Robinson, and Guzan could pick that up. It was not intentional. PT Martinez now for Joseph Martinez. Barco trying to slide it through, looking for Mikey Ambrose. And again, another solid move from Atlanta. Lorenowitz in plenty of space. Lets it fly. And had Barovero interested for just a moment. One 35-year-old having a go at another 35-year-old. Over 400 appearances for Lorenowitz in his Major League Soccer career. Monterrey 70 minutes home to a semifinal berth. A little bit of miscommunication between PT Martinez and Joseph Martinez as Rometti cleans that up for Darlington Nagbe. PT in for Ambrose. Tried to just poke it through for Joseph Martinez. PT gets stood up, referee not interested. Pizarro switching the point of attack magnificently. Funes Mori just bullied off the ball by Miles Robinson. Massachusetts native with some outstanding defending. Barco. And Atlanta will wait for reinforcements. Parkhurst picks out Joseph Martinez, knocked off the ball. And good defending from Monterrey, who, as we mentioned before conceding that late goal to Tigres over the weekend, had 5 straight clean sheets. A side that has struggled to score, although Atlanta United fans might not necessarily agree with that fact, as they saw 3 get past Brad Guzan in Monterrey last week. And it really wasn't until the last 8 or 9 minutes or so that the wheels started falling off for Atlanta in leg number 1. But Monterrey barely got by Alianza. And it took some late heroics from Nicolas Sanchez from the penalty spot just to get through to the quarterfinals. Nagbe. Plenty of numbers forward for Atlanta United, but Monterrey sitting in a relatively deep block. You can see Pizarro, in particular, attached to Darlington Nagbe as Rivero comes off of his line, makes a play on it. And Lorenowitz stands his ground. Heavy touch from Remedi. Falls nicely for Barco. PT. A little bit too quick for Joseph Martinez, and the Venezuelan commits the foul more out of frustration than anything, and sends the ball a country mile afterwards, and that'll be a talking to from Henry Bejarano. A lot of questions being asked of Frank de Boer as of late, albeit only about 5 games in to his position here, but he's no stranger to an early exit in a managerial position. Miles Robinson incurring. Lorenowitz forward. P.T. Martinez. Stripped by a terrific tackle. Monterrey, just when Atlanta United start to threaten, put in the proper tackle and bottle things up and make life very difficult. This is great play again. Gallardo bends one in over the head of Funes Mori. And a throw in for Atlanta United. Joseph Martinez wins the header, but nobody in behind him for the 5 stripes. And the striped ones will take over. Nicolas Sanchez wanted an option, finds one in Pizarro. Parkhurst back for Mikey Ambrose, work to do. Gives it away to Pizarro. Monterrey in the driver's seat. Atlanta United in an Uber, about 5 miles back, trying to catch up. Nice little 1-2. Hurtado gets on the right side of Lorenowitz. Puts one move on, a second, back out, and the shot. Easy enough for Brad Guzan. Never going to trouble a goalkeeper of his caliber. The shot from Miguel Layun. Kept in by Ambrose. Pizarro. Robinson skirts away from Hurtado. Lorenowitz forcing the issue on the other end. Monterrey completely disrupting the rhythm of Atlanta United. Been Monterrey on the front foot for the past 5 minutes or so. Barco. Purposeful run here from Atlanta United. Gressel. Too far out in front of Pity Martinez, but he'll get a second chance. Gressel was trying to release the pressure in the form of Darlington Nagbe and ends up committing a foul after the fact. And Gressel trying to help up Carlos Rodriguez and sort of move this process along as we've eclipsed the half-hour mark in Mercedes-Benz, and still remains the same score as it did when the final whistle blew a week ago in Monterrey. PT is fouled by Gallardo. Gallardo starting and playing in every game for Mexico in the World Cup this past summer in Russia. Extremely steady in that exterior defensive role. Nagbe. Early delivery, and Barovero handles it relatively cleanly. Mentioned Mikey Ambrose getting the start. I guess you could say instead of Breckshea at this point. A lot of people have pegged to be the #1 left wing back for Frank de Boer this season, but as we mentioned before, it hasn't been his best start as Lorenowitz reads that perfectly, driving one in. And handled by Monterrey yet again, only as far as Nagbe. Nice little 1-2 with Martinez. But forced to go negative. And again, Ambrose. Well, there's been one glaring opportunity for Atlanta United, and it came at the foot of their main man, Joseph Martinez, who shattered the MLS regular season goal scoring record in 2018. However, he was not able to convert. And you just sort of get that feeling that if you miss that initial opportunity, albeit there's a long ways to go, that the mind games start to come into play. As Barco on a nice turn, makes a couple defenders miss, and now a free kick opportunity for Atlanta United from about 20 yards away. And Ezequiel Barco taking matters into his own hands, beating a couple different Monterrey defenders and midfielders on the way. Well, there's a man who's now playing in the tune who would be perfect for this type of opportunity, especially on the particular side that it's on. Now, is it Pity, is it Barco, is it Joseph Martinez? It'll be Pete. It takes a deflection. And a corner for Atlanta. Well, you never know where it would have gone had it gotten through the wall, but it certainly looked like they might at least trouble Marcelo Barovero at the very least. As this corner is low and dealt with appropriately by Monterrey. 10 minutes remaining in this first half. Joseph Martinez was trying to commit the foul to slow up the counterattack. Pizarro sends it the other way, but angled too closely to Brad Guzan. And particularly having to chase the game. Brad Guzan is going to be playing that sweeper-keeper role and ready to pounce off of his line at a moment's notice. Pete somehow got through to Joseph Martinez, and he's fouled. Long-range effort, and Barovero up to the task. Ingenious from Pete. That would have been one way to get the first one. Brian Lozano did something mighty similar from about 35 to 40 yards deeper on the pitch against Red Bulls last night. Ensuing corner. Again at the near post and does not get past the first defender, but it won't matter. Foul away from the ball. It's a lot of hands from Joseph Martinez, and it's one way to get the referee to blow his whistle, even if it was minimal contact. The goal before the halftime break would do Atlanta United a world of good. Look how deep Joseph Martinez has had to come just to receive that pass. Now driving forward with pace. Wants the return from Pete. Miguel Ayun scuffs the clearance, but Monterrey clinical out of pressure. And again, looking to go direct and just turn these center backs around from Atlanta United. However, Miles Robinson has been as sharp as you could like. Wrestle. Trying to Houdini his way out of trouble. Pete gets it to Joseph Martinez. Takes a couple of awkward bounces. Pete sliding it through. Mikey Ambrose, room for delivery. Lofted ball in, won by Monterrey. And it'll be a corner for ATL. Barco's down after that challenge. And it looks like Johan Vasquez was the player he collided with. Barco pointing to that chin cheek area. Mentioned Vasquez getting the start just at 20 years of age, his first appearance in this tournament. Barco on his feet to a nice round of applause from the Atlanta United faithful, as Vasquez popped up just a few moments ago. Looks like they're trying to clean off Barco's face more than anything, and caught that elbow. Certainly doesn't feel good. Good work from Pitti and Eric Rometti. Argentinians hooking up. Pitti! Oh boy, he's calibrating. Still looking to make his first real mark for the Five Stripes in the goal-scoring department. I have a feeling this was meant to be delivery, but he's already caught Baravero off of his line once. 35-year-old is starting to creep further and further up, and just might get caught cheating. Great work from Gressel. Barco was trying to get it back for the German. Calls for Rometti. And we'll let the Atlanta United fans serenade you. Well, the supporters are doing their part. Looking for a moment of inspiration in the attacking third now. Barco. Barco trying to swerve one into the path of Joseph Martinez. And if there are any Liverpool fans tuning in, I'm sure they're thinking of the goal that the Reds were able to score against Bayern Munich earlier today. Mohamed Salah linking up with Sadio Mane, as it has been a Champions League filled day all over the globe. As Brad Guzan sends this one away. Martinez, a good challenge, falls for Monterrey. Out of the reach of Pizarro, and Lorenz will have to play negative. Pitti Martinez finding Mikey Ambrose, who is in an offside position. About a half a step off was Mikey Ambrose, 25-year-old from El Paso, Texas. He's been with Atlanta United since the beginning. Up to the FC Dallas Academy and attended University of Maryland for 3 years. Hurtado makes Eric Rometti miss. As we'll have 2 minutes of stoppage time at the minimum in the first half. Monterrey on the move, looking dangerous, starting to show teeth. Miles Robinson wins the header. Hurtado again. Pizarro is just all over the field. As soon as he gets it and gets rid of it, he's relocating to a different spot and making sure that Atlanta United can't keep too close of tabs on him. Here he is again, making a darting run. He wanted it, but Monterrey patient, not wanting to give up a late counterattack opportunity to Atlanta United at the end of the first half. Pizarro somehow comes away with it. Avoids a couple of challenges, and Rodolfo Pizarro getting some oohs and ahs from the crowd here at Mercedes-Benz. Maybe one last chance at the end of the first 45 minutes for ATL. Nope. That's going to do it. Score remains the same as it did after the first leg in Monterrey last week. Atlanta United with a couple of chances by way of Joseph Martinez and an ingenious effort from Pity Martinez. But Barovero was up to the task on both instances. And Diego Alonso halfway home to a semi-final appearance in Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League. Another disappointing half of football for Frank de Boer, as Atlanta United have not looked in danger themselves, or at least what we were used to seeing in 2018, and have plenty of work to do. And on that list of things to accomplish in the second half, 3 goals as well as keeping a clean sheet, or else it's Monterrey moving on to the semifinals. 0-0 in the second leg. 3-0 on aggregate to Monterrey in this quarterfinal. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few moments with first half highlights and stats. Welcome back to Mercedes-Benz Stadium and Atlanta. Tyler Terrence here. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're just tuning in, we'll help you out a little bit and give you some highlights from the first 45 minutes of play in the Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League quarterfinal leg number 2 between Atlanta United and Monterrey. Atlanta United, you thought that they might get off to the start that they got off to against Herediano in the second leg, as Joseph Martinez finds the end of this beautiful ball from Barco. But how about the veteran keeper Marcelo Barovero makes a diving stop to his right-hand side. Barovero with a highlight reel save, and you can bet your bottom dollar that'll be on all sorts of CONCACAF social media as best saves, as he was able to keep it scoreless in the first 45 minutes. Give you a little spoiler alert there, but there were no goals to be had in the first half, as Jeff Lorenowitz would try his luck on Barovero and intrigue the keeper just for a moment, but shot was always slicing wide as it caught the outside of his foot. And Lorenowitz stepping in for Gonzalez Perez, who's suspended on the night due to yellow card accumulation and is filled in beautifully, as Atlanta United were able to keep a clean sheet themselves. However, it didn't come with a couple of nervy moments, as Hurtado linking up with Funes Mori, and that shot Handled all too easily by Brad Guzan in the end. Pardon me, that was Miguel Layun with the finished product that Guzan was able to hang on to, and Hurtado was starting to grow into the game more and more as the first half went on. Pity Martinez, the big offseason signing from River Plate in Argentina, trying his luck against Barovero. And he had an opportunity about 5 minutes before that where he took a shot from about 40 yards out that Barovero had to make a diving stop just to keep from going into the net. And that would do it for the highlights from the first half. 0-0 here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. 3-0 on aggregate to Monterrey. As you take a look at how the numbers shook out, slight edge in possession to Monterrey, who really were in no hurry once they had the ball and really make Atlanta work for it defensively. If we're going to see some sort of tactical change, you would have to imagine it might be perhaps allowing Julian Gressel and Mikey Ambrose to be a bit more daring going forward and leaving the three backs exposed, being Miles Robinson, Michael Parkhurst, and Jeff Lorenowitz. But only time will tell, as Atlanta and Monterrey have 45 minutes remaining here in the ATL, and we'll have that conclusion for you in just a few moments. Don't go anywhere. Second half coming your way next. Second half about to get underway here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Pity Martinez and Atlanta United have a 3-goal mountain to climb, and now they needed to get it done in half the time. 45 minutes remaining. And Ezequiel Barco and this Atlanta United crew have shown some moments where they might get a breakthrough, but Marcelo Barovero has come up with 2 magnificent saves. We've really yet to see the best of Julian Gressel on the night, but all the credit in the world to Rayados and Monterrey, because they have been in incredible defensive form as of late. In the past 6 games, they have given up just 1 goal. Looking to make that now 7. They had 5 clean sheets in a row before conceding to Luis Quiñones and Tigres in the Clásico Regio, and we could very well have a Clásico as the finals of the Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League if Monterrey are able to hang on, and then both Monterrey and Tigres advance to the final as they are on opposite sides of the brackets. But plenty of time until we can start talking about who's going to raise the cup and who's going to be competing for it. 45 minutes to play here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Again, I'm Tyler Terrence. Thank you so much for joining us and for taking time out of your Wednesday evening to enjoy the beautiful game. Atlanta United have some work to do, and you're going to start to see a bit more dice rolling from Frank de Boer. Martinez challenging Sanchez. Great little matchup here. Sanchez goes down pretty easily, and he caught the ball. That's the second time we've seen a Monterrey player do that tonight. And Sanchez and Joseph Martinez exchanging some words with one another. And for a guy of Nicolas Sanchez's side, for somebody like Joseph Martinez to be able to just brush him off like that, I have to think there was a bit of theatrics involved. Hurtado starting to get a lot more touches as the first half went on. Wearing number 18 for Monterrey and linking up with Rodolfo Pizarro, who hoisted this trophy a little more than a year ago with Chivas. Here's Barco. Had some really nice moments in the first half as well. Barco finally dispossessed. Funes Mori cushions it nicely for Hurtado, and Monterrey can recycle. P.T. Martinez with some nice hold-up play. And it's going to be the previous foul from Johan Vasquez, the debutant in Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League on the night. And it wasn't that particular one, but just a few moments before that where he was yanking on the shirt of Gonzalo Martinez. PT lets it run all the way through, but only goes to Nicolas Sanchez. Light challenge from Darlington Nagbe, starting to get more and more chippy as we move on. And it's Pizarro moving forward. Here comes Monterrey. Shot is low, spilled in front initially by Guzan, but he gobbles it up. Referee says play on. Decent idea from Hurtado. It'll fall for Joseph Martinez, 1v5 at the moment. Waiting for some support, comes in the form of Barco. Ambrose to his left. Rometti. Barco is taken down, and now a free kick for Atlanta United. And again, Barco just continues to make things happen, whether the ball is at his feet or not. Dangerous with his movement, dangerous with his ideas. You just get the feeling if Atlanta United can get the first, it'll give them that much more confidence to go ahead and get the second and the third. They just need that little glimmer of hope that there will be goals in this one for them. It's Barco. And a gaze look up to the heavens looking for an answer as to why that didn't necessarily dip the way he wanted it to. It was P.T. Martinez who took the honors in the first half from a few yards closer. Ambrose did well to find Rometti. It's not been his best game, Eric Rometti. He's been canceled out in the middle of the park by the likes of Carlos Rodriguez, Jonathan Gonzalez, as well as Rodolfo Pizarro. Question is, did Frank de Boer make any tactical changes to try to get his Argentinian maestro on the ball a bit more? Parkhurst found in space. Barco. He wants to drive at defenders, that much is clear. Parkhurst again, the captain. Lorenowitz tight roping. And wins Atlanta United a corner. Savvy play from a savvy man. P.T. Martinez has not his best delivery from set pieces tonight. And more pushing and shoving going on between Lorenowitz and Johan Vasquez. Remedi knocks it back out wide. Pity Martinez dips a toe in, does not win the challenge. Jesus Gallardo comes away with it. And Monterrey can move upward and onward. Barco, deceptive. Out wide for Gressel, knocks it all the way across, and it's past Baravaro and past Joseph Martinez. Corner coming up for ATL, at least it should be. The initial call is a goal kick, and you could hear Baravaro get a touch on that. There you go, it hits the strap of his glove. And our referees don't have the luxury of using our crowd mics at their disposal. Comes Hurtado on the other end, and Miles Robinson just seals it off. And forcing Hurtado to take a detour. Gressel, a good move. Atlanta's confidence building in this attack. But again, the defending from Monterrey is just spot on. It looks like man marking almost everywhere on the field, save for a couple of positions. And they are just making life so incredibly difficult for Atlanta moving forward, especially when they start to get within about 30 or 35 yards. Monterrey has drawn that line in the sand. Credit to Atlanta, who have also been equally stout on the defensive end. Hence the 0-0 scoreline. 3-0 on aggregate to Monterrey. The winner will take on the winner of Sporting Kansas City and Kai Independiente. Julian Gressel winning his individual battle. Finding Barco, clean first touch. Back for Gressel. And the return for Barco. Finding the feet of the Rayados defender. Pity. Bullet off the ball. Gressel wanted a handball on Gallardo. And Pizarro unlocks it the other way for Layun. Layun bending it into the corridor of uncertainty. Guzan wanted no part of it. Carlos Rodriguez. Pizarro again connecting the dots. Layun keeps it low. And Parkhurst has to clear it away. And Diego Alonso liking what he sees from his side, who have yet to lose a match in 2019. Meanwhile, for Frank de Boer, just one win in their first 5 matches of the calendar year. Alonso in his first full season after joining the ranks of Monterrey in June of 2018. Frank de Boer in his first full season as well. Hurtado, a bit too quick, and Funes Mori wanted it a bit closer to frame. Given away in a tough spot by Monterrey. Pity Martinez comes away with it. Martinez linking up with Barco. Barco was too direct for Martinez. Pizarro. Layun. Layun's delivery is not his best. Usually expect much more from From a man who's played in the likes of English Championship as well as the Premier League. Pizarro working on Lorenowitz. Pizarro's delivery denied by the 35-year-old defender, and a corner kick coming up for Monterrey. Well, if Pizarro can help guide Monterrey deeper and deeper into this tournament, he just might earn himself the nickname Mr. Concacaf Champions League. Integral part of Chivas' win in 2018. And just touches the ball beautifully. Just acts as that connector in the middle of the field. Funes Mori wants it on the first time. Safe to say that he's been shut down for the most part tonight. That was about his cleanest look, and it was a more than difficult volley that he needed to connect with. Markers, good delivery out of the back, but Pity Martinez couldn't quite corral it. And look at the work rate from Mikey Ambrose, but he's called for the foul and raising that boot just a bit too high. Second thought, it looked like a handball actually. And Layun wanting the foul. He's granted one by the assistant referee. And the yellow card issued to Michael Parkhurst. And if Atlanta United are to move on to the semifinals and score 3 goals in the next half hour, possibly more, they'll be without the services of their veteran leader at the back, who will be suspended for the next leg. Ensuing free kick, Miguel Layun on top of it. Layun, great ball in, Guzan off of his line and makes the catch. And a raised eyebrow from Julio Jones, somewhere around Mercedes-Benz, are tuning in at home, as that was an outstanding catch. And there's a look at the apparent foul and the outlandish reaction from Michael Parkhurst. Barco knocks it off Rodriguez, and a corner kick coming for Atlanta. And you can see the sense of urgency starting to come to the surface for the Five Stripes. Delivery at the near post again for Atlanta. Almost every single corner has not made its way past the first defender. Here's Ambrose, he whips in a decent ball. Only one there is Nicolas Sanchez for Monterrey. Lorenowitz a late challenge. Referee says play on. Hurtado finding Pizarro on the other end, and Brad Guzan quick to step to it. Into the path of Joseph Martinez, 1v1 with Nicolas Sanchez, and Sanchez with a outstanding tackle on the Venezuelan. Those two have been going at it in the second half particularly. Less than a half hour for Atlanta United to find at least 3 goals. And Pity Martinez running out of real estate. And tempers are running high now. And we're hearing Tito Villalba is getting set to come on. No surprise there. Gressel long ball ahead. Joseph Martinez wins it, gets drilled after the fact. And an apparent head injury will force Henry Barajano to bring the play to a halt. He's colliding with the top side of Nicolas Sanchez's head. Not the first Atlanta player to potentially draw blood from the nose region tonight, as Julian Gressel took a shot in the first half. Miles Robinson wins a header. And we're being told that Villalba is going to replace Pity Martinez, who has not had his best night as a member of the Five Stripes by any stretch of the imagination. So on comes Tito Villalba, the 24-year-old from Buenos Aires, and the first designated player in Atlanta United history will try to incite the riot. Nagby and Barco, little two-man game. Parkhurst keeps it in play. Ambrose. Here's Lorenowitz forward from the center back position. Whipped in, and Barovera holds on to it. Less than 25 minutes remaining now. Monterrey still lead 3-0 on the aggregate. This defensive juggernaut continues to give problems to teams in Liga MX, to teams in the MLS, and all over Concacaf. Atlanta United have simply run into a side that has a cohesion level at the backline specifically that is just off the charts at the moment. Nicolas Sanchez and Cesar Montes have their troops, no matter who's playing along that back line, falling in order and then some. The middle of the field for Monterrey has done an excellent job as well between Carlos Rodriguez and Jonathan Gonzalez. Rodolfo Pizarro has controlled the tempo beautifully for Diego Alonso, as Tito Villalba makes an immediate impact and wins a corner for ATL. Robinson was in the neighborhood, just over his head. Ambrose trying to find Joseph Martinez. Funes Mori, some more theatrics, not getting any sympathy from our referee. Alba trying to make something happen. Deep thrown for Atlanta United. They go quickly. Won by Monterrey again. Slowly but surely, Atlanta starting to creep into Monterrey territory. The Alba fouled right outside of the box. And they go quickly. Sent in by Remedi. Darlington Nagbe up for the header, but it's a tall task with a tall man in Cesar Montes. Challenging for the header as well. Hurtado is fouled. Monterrey doing an excellent job of just taking the air out of this game, disrupting the rhythm of Atlanta. A team that was already in turmoil heading into this match, leaving more questions unanswered for Frank de Boer's side. However, if you look at it from 30,000 feet, a 0-0 draw against a side like Monterrey, who's in form and has been playing together for exponentially longer than Atlanta United have, it's really not a bad result. But given the other result last week and the fact that we're not at 30,000 feet, continues to be a frustrating start to the 2019 campaign in all competitions for Atlanta United. Five Stripes somehow playing out of trouble. Still have some work to do, and Parkhurst will find Miles Robinson. It's out of the reach of Remedi. Pizarro with an e-touch. Broken up again by Parkhurst. Monterrey have committed numbers forward. Space to play for Atlanta. Nagbe couldn't get the pass right for Joseph Martinez. Now it's Gallardo. Less than 20 minutes remaining now. And that's off of Darlington Nagbe. Hurtado offering a helping hand as Nagbe, the former Portland Timbers man, born in Liberia in his second season with Atlanta after coming over a year ago. Left Liberia as a 5-month-old. His family made stops in France, Germany, Switzerland before eventually landing in Cleveland. At 11 years old, on an NCAA tournament. As well as goal of the year in 2011 with the Portland Timbers, spending 7 years and winning an MLS Cup in 2015. And there were rumors that he might make a move to the Columbus Crew to be with his former head coach, Caleb Porter. And he was late to camp in Southern California. It seems to fit in nicely here in Atlanta. Hurtado trying to chip Guzan off the crossbar. Back out in front off the crossbar again. Double the woodwork. Funes Mori and Hurtado both in disbelief and in disarray. Brad Guzan, his best friend in the entire world right now, the crossbar at Mercedes-Benz. That is just obscene. It's the exclamation point that Monterrey have been looking for. Villalba staying on his feet. Bit too much from Rometti. Hurtado scoops it up over the top, the header again. This time not off the woodwork, but into the hands of Brad Guzan. Gressel, great find. Nagbe deflected in front, it was Montez. Best move of the night we've seen from Atlanta, maybe except for the Joseph Martinez effort early in the first half. Ensuing corner, punched away by Barovero. Back into the mix. Robinson wins the header. And it comes to nothing. And we're being told that Florentin Pogba is going to come on and make his debut and replace Michael Parkhurst. And Kevin Kratz is going to come on and replace Barco as well. As Darlington Nagbe is getting the tactical instruction from Frank de Boer as well of a wipe of the forehead. So it's a double switch. Florentin Pogba, of course, the brother of the vivacious and ever-talented and World Cup winner Paul Pogba, coming onto the scene here in the 76th minute for the first time as a member of the Five Stripes. After having some issues with his paperwork and getting that sorted out, finally able to lace up the boots and throw the kit on. And while the result may be in hand for Monterrey, a good opportunity for Pogba and Kratz to get some minutes with their comrades in a intense international situation as Rometti trying to get to the outside, denied by Cesar Montes, and a corner now for Atlanta United. Corner at the near post again. Joseph Martinez in for Nagbe. Back for Joseph Martinez, surely now for Atlanta. They've got one, they need two, and they've got 15 minutes to do it. Well, it's the most creative we've seen Atlanta tonight. And the ball from Darlington Nagbe is from a different universe. Incredible stuff to find Martinez, and the finish is authoritative to say the least. Third goal in the competition for Joseph, but still plenty of work to be done for the Five Stripes. And it's brought the crowd back to life here at Mercedes-Benz. A bit more pep in their step now, Atlanta United. And Mercedes-Benz is jumping. A second would bring the roof down. Pogba. Remedi. Darlington Nagbe. Out wide for Mikey Ambrose. Long-range effort from Kratz, and it's straight into the hands of Barovero. Anywhere else in that ripples the back of the net. And Monterrey in danger of losing their first competition in 2019. They've yet to win on the road after a 0-0 draw against Alianza in this tournament. Two goals, 10 minutes. I can confidently tell you that much crazier things have happened in the beautiful game. And Maximiliano Mesa is getting set to come on for Rayados. And last touch should be off of Darlington Nagbe. And the referee is going to say that it came off of Monterrey. As Mesa's going to come on and replace Aviles Hurtado, who showed some very strong flashes and is now going to take his sweet time, much to the dismay of the crowd here at Mercedes-Benz. Wrestle was trying to break two different lines of defense and finding Kevin Kratz. Pogba. Well done from Gallardo. With the pass right to the feet of Mikey Ambrose. Atlanta United still have to have that sense of urgency and need to get going in a hurry. Monterrey starting to scramble and defend for their Concacaf Champions League lives. Robinson. Joseph Martinez, Tito Villalba, Nagbe, and they're going to call a foul on Joseph Martinez. Ignore the horns and the smoke. We'll let you be the judge at home. This is a tough call to make. However, it's the right call. Gives Montez no opportunity to play the ball after the fact, cleans him out as he was out of control. And fair play to our referee, Henry Bejarano. And now Lorenowitz commits the foul. And a yellow card was issued to Pizarro during that mess just a few moments ago. Physical play ensues. Monterrey wanted a foul throw-in, but Tito Villalba was simply leaving the ball back. And Pizarro not allowing Florentin Pogba to play it. Foul called against Monterrey. Now Pogba will move up. 28-year-old born in Guinea. 8 starts in the Turkish Super League before coming over to Atlanta United. He's looking to put his stamp on the 5 stripes. Kevin Kratz. Good ball in. Loose in front. Pogba had no idea where it was. It was right behind him. Gressel knocks it back in, and Barovero will let that bounce in for somebody from Atlanta United to put pressure on him. That ball in from Kratz was magnificent. Pogba switches the point of attack. Knotted along nicely by Gressel. Tito Villalba recovering. Remedi. 5 minutes remaining plus stoppage time for Atlanta United. They need 2 goals to force penalties. Given away by Kratz. Pogba trying to put in a challenge, but it's a late one. And again, knocks more precious time off the clock for Monterrey, who have been pressing a bit after giving up that opening goal to Atlanta and Joseph Martinez. Back by Pizarro and just knocked back towards the Atlanta United defense. Lorenowitz clips one in. Gressel, beneficiary of a slip. Kratz back out. Villalba, too close to Sanchez. Cushioned down by Lorenowitz. Nagbe. Ambrose still with it. Gets the return. Villalba. Gressel now. Knocked all the way across, and Barovero somehow finds the ball sitting underneath his rear end, and Joseph Martinez was waiting for it to squirt out so he could finish it. A bizarre sequence of events. The buildup again from Atlanta United was special, and it just sits underneath Barovero. Watch this. Gets a foot to it, and just sits right underneath him. Desperate looks on the faces of all the Atlanta United fans here at Mercedes-Benz for the first ever Concacaf Champions League fixture, as the first leg of the round of 16 was played at Fifth Third Stadium in Kennesaw, which saw a 4-0 result in favor of Herediano. Horse of a different color in the second leg of the quarterfinals against Monterrey. Ambrose, great ball through. Remedi can't get around Sanchez, and he cleans that up better than most would. Florentine Pogba showing what he's got from the center back position. Remedi working on Pizarro. Falls ever so kindly for Miguel Layun. Miles Robinson jousting with Funes Mori, and he's had him in his back pocket the entire night. Now it's going to have to be stoppage time heroics for Atlanta United. We're hearing 4 minutes to be had. Ambrose. Joseph Martinez goes to ground, but Layun knocks it over the Venezuelan. Pizarro, room to operate. Yeah, Pizarro did extremely well just to get it down the field, even though it lands at the feet of Brad Guzan. Gressel, beautiful ball into the channel, but up steps Nicolas Sanchez, who ranks as one of the best center backs in all of League MX and perhaps in all of CONCACAF. And a foul against Darlington Nagbe, and that'll bring us into the second of 4 minutes of stoppage time. And Monterrey will make yet another change, as it's going to be Celso Ortiz coming on. And Carlos Rodriguez will see an exit in stoppage time. We'll put a lot of miles on the odometer in the middle of the field. And gets a well-deserved breather right at the end. Comes Ortiz in the 92nd. 30-year-old from Asuncion, Paraguay. Spent a number of years in the Eredivisie over in the Netherlands. Nagbe. Monterrey starting to sag off, trying to get numbers back behind the ball. Villalba in for Nagbe, back for Tito. And Kratz has to take the scenic route. Pogba. And it's behind Julian Gressel. Rayados fans can start to taste victory now. And seeing a semifinal appearance very visible on the horizon. Yes, they will lose their first match of 2019 and bring the unbeaten streak to a close. But they will move on. Prats. Ambrose. Stuffed before it could get to Barovero. Guzan about 50 yards away from home. Nagby curls one in. Header won by Montez. He and Sanchez have been stout at the back for Monterrey. Good play from Tito. And it's just a formality now. There it is. Monterrey get the job done. Atlanta United win the second leg, but Monterrey wins the war. And they're off to the semifinals to await the winner of Sporting Kansas City and Kai Independiente. Much respect between Diego Alonso and Frank de Boer, as well as Villalba and Nicolas Sanchez. Monterrey with yet another convincing performance. They did just enough defensively. They did allow Joseph Martinez to slip through after a terrific ball from Darlington Nagby. But Monterrey playing the tournament and playing the fixture extremely well. Atlanta United get a taste of what it's like in international play. And you bet that they'll be back for more in years to come. A disappointing exit, but they fall to a more than formidable opponent. And with that, we'll take a look at what's gone on around Concacaf Champions League and what lies ahead. As we mentioned before, Monterrey advancing 3-1 on aggregate after Atlanta United get one back in the second leg and win the second leg 1-0. Sporting and Kai Independiente to do battle in the blue hell from Children's Mercy. 8 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow night, Thursday, March 14th. You're not going to want to miss the final match of the quarterfinal leg number 2 slate. And we'll take a look at how the bracket is shaking out. And just one semi-finalist remains, as it's going to be either Peter Vermes' Sporting Kansas City or the Cinderella Darlings from Panama of Independiente. And we could quite possibly be setting ourselves up for a Clásico Regio between Tigres and Monterrey. However, Santos, who have been on a goal-scoring tear, will have much to say about that in the semifinals. For our entire crew on site, producers Gage Tillotson and Manuel Devalle, as well as replay operator Jose Pueso, Tyler Terrence, saying so long for now, and thank you so much for tuning in. We will talk to you soon, folks.